Alright, Diablo 4 players, let's check out the brand new buffs and the nerfs that the Barbarian is getting for Season 11 from the PTR notes. So starting right off, let's go ahead and start off at the top. So the first thing that we're getting is the rank 10 weapon expertise bonus now also applies when the equipped to the weapon technique slot. Then we also have Kick getting a massive damage increase. If you guys didn't know, there's going to be a lot of new brawling bonuses that we're getting. I believe it's like 500x, which is not actually that bad. So maybe there's going to be some sort of like Barbarian build where you're going to be piano-y as far as like the playstyle. Like again, it's basically playing a piano because you have to activate all of your skills and put them all on cooldown, but you get like a damage multiplier, so it's going to be kind of a ramp up. And then your final one, which could be Kick now, because I mean doubling the damage could be something to consider. And then there's also Power Kick getting a new change here. So previously we made it so Kick was a core skill, and if it damages an enemy, it consumes all of your fury and would deal increased damage per fury spent. This would actually work with the brand new Melted Heart of Slig. And then Kick no longer knocks back enemies. But now it's going to be, if Kick damages an enemy, it consumes up to. See, this is, oh man, that's kind of unlucky. I was so excited about like Melted Heart of Slig for certain like skills, but like everything is like only up to a certain amount. Remove the caps. Just let people have fun with the brand new Melted Heart of Slig. It's a mythic item that people hated. Let it be a good item for one season. Just one season, man. But anyways, nonetheless, and it deals initial 25x damage per 20 fury spent. Kick no longer knocks back enemies. Okay, so yeah, because it has a cap, it just makes me less excited. If there's no cap, then I just like get super excited because I'm like, I want to see how much I can stack, and it really ruins the creativity. Just to give Blizzard some feedback, you just, again, caps just ruin the game when you have these like obscure other ways to kind of build characters, right? Let people experiment with stuff, right? And then Mighty Click increase the collide damage, so there's like a buff on the base, and then obviously you get way more damage here. I mean, we didn't have this consume up to 500 fury, but now we also have Leap, which now scales with attack speed. So that's actually pretty good because that lets you go through walls, and it just makes the quality of life much better for the Barbarian. Upheaval can now be cancelled slightly earlier with another skill. This could be kind of good. Upheaval, as far as I'm aware, has never once been like a meta skill. The reason why is it has to wind up and go back and then attack. I think they need to look at making either the skill feel way better, and they can change it in like the attack point, breakpoints for the frames, or they can make it so it just does so much damage that it becomes like worthy, right? And then we also have Iron Skin, so the new buff or change is going to make it so you get to steal yourself, increasing only your maximum life by 30% and gaining a barrier that absorbs 80% of your missing life for 5 seconds. Before, you would just gain a barrier that would absorb 50% of your missing life. So it increases your maximum life by 30%, and then you also gain a barrier. So I think that this is overall probably like a better thing, because you just like activate it to like increase your HP, and then you get to gain a barrier that is going to absorb. Now I don't know if when you increase your maximum life, if it gives that to you, like that extra like percent, and it would scale with whatever you have at the moment, or if it just like is an additional 30% of your max life, but you're still at the same HP. But either way, I would say this is probably overall buff. And then we have Enhanced Ground Stomp. So previously, Ground Stomp would generate 60 Fury and have a 2-second increased stun duration. Now, Ground Stomp generates 60 Fury and pulls enemies in. I'd say this is overall buff. Call of the Ancients duration got increased. That's cool. Maybe we can make a Call of the Ancients pet Barbarian build. I think there was one called like the Immortal Kings in Diablo 3 that like you kind of had some companions. I think that's kind of cool. Who knows if this is going to be something that we can play into. Maybe there's going to be some more Call of the Ancients buffs. So then we have Iron Maelstrom over here. So the damage is getting doubled. Okay, so all of these are basically getting doubled over here. So maybe we can lock in and try out that, because pretty much for Barbarian, it's almost always been Wrath of the Berserker, and I like that they're trying to, get us to play other things, so this is cool. Then we have Enhanced Bash. The Fortify got reduced. They're trying to make the game way harder, by the way, so I'm assuming a lot of nerfs and survivability on a lot of different builds, but I'm going to be real with you guys. Barbarian, as far as I'm aware of, like, this is Season 10 gameplay from the PTR, and like it wasn't in like the best spot for survivability already, and if you're nerfing it even harder and you're giving us less potions, I don't know, man. Barb wasn't really that good of a class either in Season 10 either, with the pit leaderboards, them being dead last, right? It's not looking too good for the Barbs over here with all of this reduction in survivability, because if you're going to have to lose survivability, well, you need to go ahead and gain survivability in other spots, which just means you're going to do less damage, and it already is the worst class objectively in terms of pit pushing. So with Strategic Rallying Cry would give you some extra max life. Now, while it's active, you gain 1% maximum life as Fortify every second. Okay, you gain 2% maximum life as fortified each second you take or deal damage. Well, I guess that you remove the condition of it, but then you get like half the amount. So again, this is like massive nerfs overall on all of these things in terms of survivability. That's if you do play them. And then we have the passive, so counter offensive. So previously, how it used to work is while you would have fortify for over 50% of your maximum life, you get to get increased damage, and now it's just while fortified you deal increased damage. Okay, so this would be okay, so it's fortify over 50% of your maximum life. So this would be a nerf, I would say, because making it so it's harder to gain all this fortification, right? So that would be something to consider. And then defensive stance, while fortified, you gain additional 2% damage reduction and heal for 0.5 maximum life every second. Now you just gain damage reduction, okay? And then fortify got reduced from 10 to 3. Wow, that's a pretty big nerf. Thick skin, the fortify reduction, wow, there's a big nerf over there. And then also changing some aspects. So with the aspect of the veteran brawler, each time a core skill deals direct damage to an enemy, your next charge leap would deal increased damage. Now let's see what this increases to. Each time a brawling skill deals direct damage to an enemy, same thing, it does increased damage. It goes up to 50. So what's the change? 4 to 10 for 5 seconds? Oh, so it used to just be infinite duration, and now it has increased damage for 5 seconds. Okay. But does it like go away? Each time, okay, you're next. Okay, it doesn't say next. So I'm assuming that this is a buff, meaning that as long as we continuously are activating the skills, this is a buff overall. I mean, yeah, it does have that duration, but like overall, it's a buff. And then the dire whirlwind. Is whirlwind going to be finally good? Whirlwind's crit strike chance and crit damage are increased by 6 to 10x. Each second is channeled up to 50x. This bonus persists after whirlwind ends. So this is overall buff because it lets you maybe activate something else, and then you can continuously use it. But as far as it being like a really, really powerful buff to lock in, I think it's still pretty much like the Dust Devils. That's kind of how Whirlwind works in Diablo 4. I wish we had more of like a pure Whirlwind version where it does the damage, no Dust Devils. Next up, though, we have the Numbing Wrath. So each point of Fury generated at maximum grants you fortification. Now, every 100 Fury, while at maximum, gives you 2 to 3%. You know, I'll be honest, I don't know what this like ends up looking like. I guess it's probably a nerf to fortification because that's what they've been trying to do. But at least now it's a percent, so that could be a better amount because it's max life. So it depends, I guess, on your stats. Then we have Steadfast Berserker's Aspect. So now it's just 8% of max life fortify. Okay, again, I would assume percent could be a nerf or a buff depending on, again, your HP. Tempering Blows, after swapping weapons 5 times, you gain fortification. Now it's a percent. And then we have Aspect of Anger Management. Now has 21 ranks, up from 16. So I don't know if I would consider this a buff or a nerf. What this does kind of do, I don't know if that means we have 21 ranks, so we have 5 additional ranks, so then therefore the stats go up higher, right? That's the way I'm looking at it. But then it might be harder to roll that perfect aspect if the ranges are like 1 to 16 in terms of like what roll you get on it, if that makes any sense. So I couldn't really speak on this. If you guys know how that works, let me know. If these are all just straight up buffs, then awesome, cool. And then we also have the unique item over here. So this is getting changed for the barb. So previously every 12 seconds, the next mighty throw would detonate and it would pulse for some fire damage. So it's getting, oh, looks like it's nerfed. Oh, every 6 seconds, our next mighty throw detonates and pulses, and it does 300. So I guess technically how it would work is that you get it to be more consistent. So it is a nerf and a buff, and overall it should be just feeling more consistent. So that's kind of a change over here. So there's a give and a take, but overall, the way I look at this is it's probably the same unless you're trying to do something with like overpower and you really need that big damage boost. But nonetheless, Dominate, they reduce the overpower timer. I don't know if this is like your next, every 6 seconds is I think what the Dominate glyph is. Every 6 seconds you can now overpower, so that's a buff, right? Might glyph, the legendary bonus now includes damage to injured enemies. I don't know if does this mean healthy and injured. I'm just making a guess off the top of my head. And then we have the Weapons Master legendary node. Previously, swapping weapons would restore 8%. Now it's 12 flat. Again, this is just, mostly these are all nerfs, by the way. And then this one, though, would be a buff. Then we have the Warbringer Legendary Node. It says, for every 75 Fury that you spend, you gain 15% of your maximum life is fortified. Now it's every 300 that you spend, you get 10%. Yeah, I feel like overall, Barber's taking some massive amounts of nerfs. Like, they're just reducing the survivability, fortification, getting massive nerfs. But there is a lot of, like, percentage. So if you scale more HP, then you will get even more survivability, I guess. But you already have it. So I would say, honestly, just looking at the notes from the PTR that are here, I wouldn't get excited about Barbarian unless I was interested in the brand new piano playstyle. Again, I'm going to say that most people will probably not enjoy it, but if there was a Kick Barbarian build, maybe this is the season to play Kick Barbarian because it's just getting a lot of buffs overall and you get like 500x. But is that enough to make up for all the survivability losses? You guys can let me know down below. What do you guys think of Barbarian in Season 11? And we'll see, man. What is the Barb build, man? It's probably going to be Piano Kick, though.